In today's video, we are going to be working on this 2013 Fiat 500, just the base model. So when we are driving the car, especially above 40 miles an hour, you hear a really loud roaring sound, and I've diagnosed it to the driver front wheel bearing. I searched it up. There are plenty of YouTube videos about it, so it seems like it's a common issue. So we are going to have to fix it, and of course I'm going to be doing it myself and not take it to a shop. Alright, so first thing I'm doing is disconnecting the tie rod end. It is a 17 mil nut. It's a nylon thread lock nut, so there is no cotter pin to worry about. It's 17 mil, as I said, and as you can see, it's stuck in there. So what I'm going to do is take a hammer. You just hit the side like that and it will pop out. So let me hammer it some more. All right, there we go. So to save myself some time and know where all the bolts go, I'm just going to thread them back on to where they came out so I don't lose any of them. And looks like you may be able to replace this tie rod, inner tie rod. Actually, no, I think it's fine. There's no play. A little floppy, but steering wheel is tight. So next thing I'm going to do is the caliper brackets. So instead of unbolting the caliper right here with the bolts in there and then unbolting the caliper bracket, I'm just going to skip that first step and just unbolt the caliper bracket, and it'll come off as one big piece. So it's a two 19 mil bolts, one on top, one on the bottom. And then once it comes off, I will hang it up somewhere using straps, as you don't want to put any tension or pressure on this brake line, as you can crack it, stretch it, and that'll be no good. So let me get to it. All right, so what I had to do is there's a spring that holds in this rubber grommet that holds the brake line. I took that out so I had more room to access the bolt, and they're very tight. My impact is a little old, but it wouldn't even budge any of them. So since I had taken out the tie rod first, I was able to move the knuckle by hand to give myself enough room for my breaker bar. And finally, it's still tight, but it's moving now. So I recommend y'all do that too, but I'll get back to it. All right, so after I use the breaker bar, I use my impact to get them the rest of the way out. And I use this little bracket to put the caliper on, though I'm still going to throw a rope around it just so it won't fall off and it won't stretch out that brake line or snap it. But next step is to take care of the speed sensor. Alright, so I decided to just use a 5-gallon bucket and put the caliper on it, and now I also have a spot for nuts and bolts. So I'm pausing off the wheel speed sensor for right now, and I'm going to take off the rotor to gain better access. It is just two 12 mil alignment pins for the wheels. They shouldn't be tight on there at all. Just like that. And then this rotor will come off. You will just have to, more than likely, use a mallet, not a hammer, as I'm reusing this brake rotor. There we go. Pops right off. Didn't damage it at all. Now I can set that on some nice carpet. Make sure not to nick the surface. then we have better access. So the wheel bearing is inside this knuckle right here. So I'll have to use a big press that I have access to at school to push out the bearing and this hub, and then we'll push in the new one. But back to that wheel speed sensor. So the wheel speed sensor is a Allen in a size 5. But first, I'm going to take care of this heat shield so I can see better back there. And it's just 310 mils. One at bottom, side, top, and should come off relatively easy. I'll pick that up later. There we go, came right off. Now also be a good time to clean it and maybe paint it if yours is all rusty, but mine just needs a good cleaning. So now we have access to the wheel speed sensor. I'll get my electric ratchet on it. There we go. As you can see, came right away. Comes off. Looks like it's stuck on there. I'll grab my pair of pliers, and you want to just wiggle it around while also pulling up. Want to make sure not to damage it. There we go. There is the wheel speed sensor. Also, if you want to security, you can just replace this, but the connector is tucked all the way in there, so you'll have a little bit more work to do. But now this can just go off to the side. Make sure not to hit it or crush it. And the only two things left are this axle nut and the 2 strut bolts. But first, we want this axle nut to come off. As you can see from factory, the nut has a little, at the end there's a cut, and they pushed the end down, so I'll have to push this back up. Usually you can just turn it and with the impact and it'll come off, but is it blocking it from going in the off direction, and it's on top and bottom, so I have to deal with that. It's a 36 mil nut, and I have my 36 mil CV axle nut socket, but for the hub that surrounds this and my socket, it's too thick, so it hits the outside. So I'll need to go to the store. Maybe AutoZone or O'Reilly has a thin-walled socket that I can borrow and take this nut off. But until then, this is where I'll be at. It only took me about 20 minutes, including the filming, so it shouldn't take you long at all. Another thing, it was too tight for my impact, so what I had to do is I went out and I got a lot bigger one, heavier duty, and after about 10-15 seconds, so this is going ugga-dugga and not moving, it finally broke that nut loose. Good thing is, the CV axle isn't stuck in these splines, which would be another problem, but it freely comes out. So what I have now is I've unbolted the shock from the knuckle. Also removed the bolt down here, and now you can better see what I mean. There's a little nub that comes up that the bolt crunches these two arms together around it. So I have this little slit in the back, so I'll stick my pry bar in there and twist it, and it'll help free up this nub as it's corroded in there. So let me go ahead and do that. Just a quick little update. I was able to push the axle out. All you have to do is turn the knuckle to the side and push it out, and it'll come out with a little bit of force. Now on our lower ball joint, I see ours is still factory, and this top piece is wider than the actual hole. So what I had to do is use my little pry bar, and I'm hammering it into that slot. And as you can see, now it can move. But I just gotta hammer it some more at the bottom end so it can pass all the way through. Now would be a good time also to do lower ball joints or anything else, as basically this whole side is almost apart. All right, now you can better see. I was actually kind of wrong. It doesn't get wider. All it was just stuck on there, and actually spreading it apart just helped remove it. So now once I go back to install it, I'm going to clean all this up and put anti-seize all around this. So if I ever need to take off the knuckle again, it'll be very easy and I won't have to fight with it. This is the knuckle now, as you can see. Here is the keeper ring on the back. I'll just need to take a screwdriver or plier, put it in there, then kind of pull it out and up, and then work it around. Easier said than done. Alright, so got it out. Just had to use pry bar and work my way around. But as you can see, here is the bearing in the inner hub. So the way to get this out is I'm going to need to use a press, elevate this, and then I'll press out this inner race. This is the hub. That'll come out first, and then I'll need to turn it around, and once this is out, I'll see the bearing, and I'll use another socket or something to push the bearing out from the back side, as it can't come out from the front. Only this hub does. But once I'm there, I'll show you. And then you also have where the snap ring goes. You want to make sure the bearing is passed down that, and you can put a new one in. And there's this gap here, and that's for this hole right here for the wheel speed sensor. You want to make sure that it is in the proper position. Also, I believe the bearings need to go in a certain direction, as they have a magnet in one side for the wheel speed sensor. So if you put it in the wrong way, then it will cause you a lot of issues. But for now, I'm just going to clean up all the parts, wash this off, clean that up. And once I get the bearings, I'll show you all me pressing the old ones out and the new ones in. Alright, so I'm at school with the 20-ton shop press, and I've already pressed out the bearing and hub. It came out relatively easy as I used PB Blaster, but it was still a little sketchy having to put all the plates on. So what I did, first to press out the hub, I just grabbed the socket that fit on it, pressed it out, then flipped it over and pressed out the bearing. So here's the new one. It has a magnetic side, so whichever side that is has to be facing down towards the wheel speed sensor. So bearing first, then hub back in. And what I also did is I took it to our parts washer, cleaned everything off so it's all nice and clean. And I'm going to take a wire brush to the inside, get any rust out, and then put a little bit of grease so the bearing can just slide right in. So let me do that. Alright, so now we have the bearing pressed in all the way, and I can clearly see where the snap ring will go into that groove. So I forgot my snap ring at home, so what I'm doing is I'm putting a bearing underneath and setting it on top, so when I push the hub in, it doesn't push the bearing out. And also use the wire brush, cleaned it all off, and now I'm going to put a little bit of assembly lube so it slides right in, and it'll go just like that. Make sure it's all level, and I'll put an adapter on it and then push it down in. So let me get to it. As you can see, it's all in. Just need to go home, put the snap ring in, and it's the reverse of taking it out. So this should go as smooth as it went in, or came out. Alright, so as you saw, I put the new bearing in, put the old hub back in, and now since I'm home, I put in the snap ring. And when you press this down, when you press the bearing down, you want to make sure it goes fully down to where you can clearly see that groove, just like that. And you will be able to put the snap ring in. So now everything's the opposite of how I took it out. I'm not going to film or talk too much about that, as I already showed you how to take it off. So if you got to this point, it should be easy to put it back on. But I'll clean this off, put some grease on it. Same thing with the CV axle for these splines, just so next time if I have to ever take this off again, it'll easily come out. But let me get back to putting on the parts. So as you can see, everything is put back on and tightened everything down real nice. So for the brake caliper, I had to take it apart as the caliper closed in just a bit, so the rotor wasn't able to slip back in between the pads. So I had to re-grease everything. But other than that, tie rod's in, all the bolts are tightened down, axle nut, see, I just need to hammer it down, the alignment pins, brake lines all back. So now it's just gotta put the tire back on, torque the lug nuts, and then we can take it on a test drive.